Get in line. Stay in line. Stay in line. Get in line. Stay in line.
You supposed to be doing this. You supposed to be.
The way that the world playing your face about that, it's a scary thing to be a woman that flows freely.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Listen. Tap in. Y'all getting the video today. I don't care. I need the girlies to tap in. Go get you something to drink. Go get you a snack. Okay? Because I'm covering this topic today. Listen, this is my 40th time. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a bit. Okay, I'm exaggerating a lot. But literally, I've been trying to record this video a million times because this topic is like, it's pressing, but the level of resistance that my mind is giving me right now to touch on this topic is insane. Okay, first of all, I was watching this TV show. This was a few years ago. Okay, so I watched this show called Lovecraft County. Don't go watch it, y'all, because I don't know what kind of stuff rude. I don't know what happened with my home. Okay, so don't go watch it. But I'm just saying, I'm watching this TV show. And if you already watched it, okay. I hope you're praying. Cover your home. Because you know they be doing spells and stuff on these movies. Not even trying to be dramatic. They do. That's a different video. I did not come on here for this. So let me stay focused. So watching this TV show called Lovecraft County, and there is these two girls. One is called Ruby and the other one, girl, I don't know the other girl name. Maybe I'll add it over here, child. I don't know. Y'all know I be forgetting stuff. You know what? That might not even be the name. Listen, I'm gonna double check. Let me circle back. Listen, I hope I don't keep coming on these videos forgetting stuff. For real. Anyways, okay. The names are Ruby and Christina. So Christina asked Ruby, "Who are you, Uninterrupted?" She gave her this potion to drink, and it was supposed to basically allow her to live in a world and exist in a world where she never could gain being black. And I was like, now y'all know me, I'm a deep thinker and I ask a lot of questions. So when she asked that to her, I asked that to me, like, who are you, Uninterrupted? That's a good question. And you know what? I've been pondering that question for years now. Listen, it's been years. And I guess when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about next, I wanted to talk about that. The question of who are you, Uninterrupted, is a question that you and I really need to ponder on. Because what would you look like if you did not have those small infractions or those major infractions in your life? How much more outgoing would you be? How less shy would you be? How much more would you be willing to set boundaries, put your foot down, speak up for yourself, defend yourself, protect yourself? You know how many times I'm the one that's paying the price? I've sacrificed myself for peace, for opportunities, for relationships, for space. In this big old planet that the Lord done created, who can't even get space? Now tell me, what kind of sense does that make? In this big world that the Lord has created, you don't even have no space. You cannot take up space. No. Let's get into it. Well, I got a lot of women actually. Like, we give motivation. We have like 10-step plan. We have a drop the weight, get a 6-pack, get a big booty, high protein, low carb diet that you're going to be on. We have the do your makeup a certain type of way. learn to walk in heels, get your dream career, get money in your account. We have all these superficial steps. The only reason those steps are even valuable are because of external factors, are because of the very world that you cannot take up space in has told you these are the steps. So now you're interrupting yourself again to get to the uninterrupted version of yourself, which means it's an oxymoron, which means it's not real, which means it's a fallacy. As I am sitting here thinking about myself, the women around me, the world that we live in, and how we exist, we are literally existing in a world where we are not allowed to move uninterrupted. And I think that a lot of us, especially when we're living life, we're existing, growing up, we've just kind of learned to, what is it called? Censor ourselves? We've learned to censor ourselves. And in 2024, let's not do that anymore. And when I say censor yourself, I don't mean like if you have bad character traits, you're going about making other people feel unworthy or you're projecting that onto other people. I mean this, like you might see things or you might see the world a little bit differently, but when you're interacting with people, you tend to censor yourself because people do not allow you to move the way that you should or the way that you would like them to. And in order to really tap into that, you would need to take a break to really see, what do I want to do? How do I feel? Where do I want to be? And even that is a nuanced answer because your trauma-filled self will answer that question differently than your healed self will. I was sitting in therapy one day and my therapist asked me, who am I? And I was like, who am I? And I started listing off the things that I had done and the things that I had accomplished and then the things that I was doing. And my therapist was like, that's not who you are. Those are actions. Those are things that are produced from yourself. It oozes from yourself. And then some of that stuff, as I started exploring, some of that stuff that I had accomplished or that I had achieved or the place that I was going and the goals and the dreams that I had and aspirations were linked to trauma and they were linked to fear and they were linked to missing out and wanting to be and da-da-da. And I have this image of myself. And I sat there after a few sessions and realized, first of all, I don't even care about corporate America. And people that grew up with me will be like, huh? Because I'm one of the most ambitious women you would meet. When we talk about trailblazer, I trailblaze. But I was sitting there after a few sessions like, girl, I don't even care. Some of this stuff I don't even care about. The stuff I care about is simple things in life. Things that the world may not necessarily value, but I do. And then when I started moving from that place, I started seeing a different me. Cookie does not care about corporate America. Shocker. Because had you asked me in college, had you asked me in high school, had you asked me in elementary school, had you asked me in middle school, what was I gonna be? I would have listed off a million different things, including being an astronaut. And come to find out, I don't even care about that stuff. I only care about that stuff because the world told me to care about that stuff. The world told me, if you are not an ambitious woman, if you do not get a degree, if you do not climb the corporate ladder, you are useless. So, and I said, okay, I need to do all those things to validate myself. In the book that I have written, the book discusses your value and your self-worth versus the things that the world values, and how those things are very separate from each other. And like, we need to, as women, especially with the stuff that's coming on, like for example, a lot of women as they get older, they start dealing with things like cancer, fibrosis, high blood pressure, strokes, all these things. And like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel like some of that stuff come from like the baggages that we put on ourselves from like the expectations of the world. Like we've been interrupted so much. It's kind of like if you cut a wound, you cut a wound, and instead of you disinfecting the wound, closing it back up and allowing it to heal, you keep opening it back up and you keep interrupting the healing process. You keep interrupting it. That wound will never heal, and as a matter of fact, it might become an even bigger wound. And it might become something that now you gotta amputate the whole leg off because it's getting to be bad. And I feel like that's a lot of us. At like a point in your life when you're like your 40s, 50s, now you have high blood pressure. You have chronic anxiety and depression. You have fear of this and the fear of that. You have fibrosis. Like, you look at your life and you're like, baby, some of this stuff was clutter. I didn't even want some of this stuff. I just accumulated it because they told me to. Who is the they? Is the question. As a woman, you kind of start settling into your life as you get older. I'm still trying to figure that out, child, because I'm still trying to figure out how to tell people no and stuff. But that's a whole different topic. That ain't got nothing to do with today. Oh, seriously. Okay. As we're growing into our lives, right? As we're evolving as human beings, we all know that women and men have two different experiences in life. They're able to exist two different ways. Women are supposed to be very agreeable, very much demure, very much soft-spoken, very much easy to deal with. A woman that is the opposite of any of those things, she's a headache to the world. Now, when we think about those things, we think about how that has subconsciously affected us. As a woman, y'all know what I'm talking about. You cannot go to your job and be like, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, listen, if you've been there for 34 years and you the VP or something like that, maybe you can. Maybe you can. I don't know. I'm not even that old, so I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I hadn't even had a job. I ain't never been in no career for that long. So I could only assume. And I also think that our generation, it's very different. It's not the same back in the 80s when y'all was getting y'all was coming out of college. It's not the same. It's not the same. You know what I'm saying? Older women do not understand it's not the same. Baby, you cannot get up here and be doing all that. Back in the day, especially in tech, they needed people. They was gonna take the dog off the street because they was trying to build the internet, and they needed some people that had degrees, and there was only 3 people in the world that had degrees. So they was gonna take you, and they was gonna take your mouth. Nowadays, they're not doing that with you. So I just went on a tangent, but I really want to say, I really want to talk about how, as a woman, you are not really allowed to exist how you see fit. And I don't think a lot of us have actually thought about that. We look at our lives and we think that everything that we're doing and every place that we've gone, like, has been the byproduct of our imagination. And that's not true. When you are born as a woman, you are told the do's and don'ts of womanhood. You are expected to have your first period around the age of 11 to 13, 14. Some girls nowadays is starting to get younger because of the hormones in the food. But like, you're expected to then go off and, you know, get a degree, get some big degrees. And then after that, you're supposed to somehow find your Prince Charming and then like have kids, right? And then that's a simple format. And then in the middle of doing all that, You are supposed to be as nice and agreeable as possible, okay? If a man grab your hand to try to get your number, you still gotta be like, oh, be all nice and stuff and understanding and respectful, because you don't want him to punch you in the face type stuff. Stuff like that as a woman. Now, I'm trying to lay a foundation because I'm trying to talk about how all the little things that I just mentioned, all these little nuances create interruptions in your evolution. From the time you are young to the time your current age, you have had minor interruptions. You have had major interruptions. And those have shaped the way that you see the world. They have shaped the way that you deal with people. They have shaped the way that you deal with yourself and how you talk to yourself. And they have shaped how big you're willing to dream and how little you're willing to dream. And your family plays a huge part in that too. I wanted to lightly touch on this topic because I wanted us to ponder, who are we uninterrupted? And when I say ponder, I don't mean go pick up superficial things and put it on your shopping list, because that's going to make you feel like you're that girl now. Who are you interrupted flows from an inner place of peace. She's the moment. You're not waiting on nobody else to create the moment. You're not waiting on nobody else to be the moment. You are the moment. And you flow from that and you flow freely. And a woman that flows freely is a scary thing. Because the way this world play in your face and they keep their foot on your neck, get in line. Stay in line, stay in line, get in line, stay in line.
You supposed to be doing this. You supposed to be.
The way that the world playing your face about that, it's a scary thing to be a woman that flows freely. And I think that is what a true glow up is. When we're hearing,
Glow up, how grew up, how did this, how did that, how I became that girl, how I become the it girl.
I think what the girls are trying to say is, who am I uninterrupted? But I think they're answering the question incorrectly. We are still trying to do things. We are still trying to accomplish things. We are still trying to, let me drop 60 pounds by the summertime and get a six pack to be uninterrupted. When being uninterrupted means you are flowing from a free and safe space, unbothered by anything or anyone else's equations. You are truly the product of your essence. And that is a complicated thing to do. That's difficult. Because in order to even get to that place of flowing freely and being in peace and flowing from your essence, you got to get back to the building blocks of who you was. Who you remember before a guy broke your heart. Who you remember before corporate America kept who you remember before that traumatic event happened when you were younger. Who you were before you allowed peer pressure to define you and make you conform. That's hard work. And one of the reasons I started this channel, Honey.Yourehere, is because I'm going through this journey, but I wanted to go through this journey with other women. And I wanted to ask the hard questions. I wanted to deal with the hard topics, the topics that we don't want to talk about, but we gonna need to. If that girl that you are envisioning, if that woman that you are envisioning in your mind is a possibility, then you must rest with the fact that there's some work that needs to be done. And I don't know, this is kind of like a ramble video. I don't got much gems to leave with y'all because honestly, I'm still wrestling with this topic too. Like, who am I uninterrupted? And to be honest, a thing that I'm starting to realize is I don't think we'll all fully have the answer. I think it's one of those things where it's hindsight 2020. As you start digging, as you start healing, as you start getting rid of clutter, you'll be able to a year from now be like, who am I uninterrupted? One part of the equation is on both. 5 years from now, you look back on your healing journey in your life, and you're able to be like, who am I uninterrupted? Baby, I'm playful. I play way too much. And you start realizing, like for me, for example, I could be a very high-strung individual. Like accomplishments, achievements, baby, that's me. I'm very ambitious. I am so ambitious to the point where I can get plagued by anxiety and fear and stress all at once because I don't know how to live in the moment. I'm always thinking about tomorrow, what's coming next, what's coming next. And so that could be very crippling. But a small part, because it's been a year since I've been on my real healing journey, let's get back to the basics. I realized that I'm very playful. Like, who's serious? It's a joke. I play too. And I never seen that for myself. I always thought I was very serious. I mean, I can be. Now that this other version of myself has came up, I don't. For what? What are we doing on that? For what? Like, even if I became homeless today, I'm gonna be playing in the park in a tent. I don't care. I don't care. Out of the car. I don't care. I'm be playing. Cause for what? Life is short. Life is short. I don't know. Just wanted to hop on here and talk about some things. But anyways, y'all tap in, y'all like and subscribe to my channel, and yeah, let's keep exploring, let's keep growing. Listen, like, subscribe, comment, let me know what you all think. I really want to hear your voices, and share the content because there is somebody out there that needs this content. Oh, and check out my other video linked below, or other videos depending on which video this is, child.